कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जय राधा गोपीनाथ श्री राधे जय राधा गोपीनाथ श्री राधे जय जगन्नाथ जय बालदेवा जय सुभद्रा माँ जय जगन्नाथ जय बालदेवा जय सुभद्रा माँ निताय गौरा हरि बोल निताय गौरा हरि बोल निताय गौरा हरि बोल निताय गौरा हरि बोल जय जय प्रभुपाद जय जय प्रभुपाद जय प्रभुपाद जय जय प्रभुपाद जय जय गुरुदेव जय जय गुरुदेव जय ओम विश्वाद परमहंस परिवाराचार्य हस्तोष्ट श्री श्रीमद हिज डिवाइन ग्रेस ऐसी भक्तवान स्वामी महाराज श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय जय ओम विश्वाद परमहंस परिवाराचार्य अष्टोत्तर श्री श्रीमद हिज डिवाइन ग्रेस भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती ठाकुर महाराज की जय अनंत कोटि वैष्णववृंद की जय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय Reading from Canto 4, Chapter 18, Text 5. तान अनादृत्य यो अविद्वान् तान अनादृत्य यो अविद्वान् अर्थान् आरभते स्वयं अर्थान् आरभते स्वयं तस्य विभचारन्ति अर्था तस्य विभचारन्ति अर्था आरब्धश्च पुनः पुनः आरब्धश्च पुनः पुनः तान् अनादृत्य यो अविद्वान् अर्थान् आरभते स्वयं तस्य विभचारन्ति अर्था आरब्धश्च पुनः पुनः तान् अनादृत्य यो अविद्वान् अर्थान् आरभते स्वयं अविचारन्ति अर्था आरब्धश्च पुनः पुनः तानानाद्नृत्यो यो विद्वान् अर्थानारभते स्वयं तस्य विचारन्ति अर्था आरब्धश्च पुनः पुनः तानानादृत्य यो अद्विद्वान् अर्थानारभते स्वयं तस्य विचारन्ति अर्था आरब्धश्च पुनः पुनः. माताजी तानानादृत्यो अविद्वान् अर्थानारभते स्वयं तस्य विचारन्ति अर्था आरब्धश्च पुनः पुनः तानानादृत्य अविद्वान् अर्थानारभते स्वयं तस्य विचारन्ति अर्था आरब्धश्च पुनः पुनः तानानादृत्य यो अविद्वान् अर्थानारभते स्वयं तस्य विचारन्ति अर्था आरब्धश्च पुनः पुनः. तान्, those, anadritya, neglecting, ya, anyone who, avidwan, rascal, arthan, schemes, arabhathe, begins, swayam, personally, tasya, his, vibhacharanti, do not become successful, arthaha, purposes, arabdha, attempted, cha, and, punaha punaha, again and again. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivinoda Swami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation. A foolish person who manufactures his own ways and means through mental speculation and does not recognize the authority of the sages who lay down unimpeachable direction is simply unsuccessful again and again in his attempts. Purport. At the present moment, it has become fashionable to disobey the unimpeachable directions given by the acharyas and liberated souls of the past. Presently, people are so fallen that they cannot distinguish between a liberated soul and a conditioned soul. A conditioned soul is hampered by 4 defects. He is sure to commit mistakes. He is sure to become illusioned. He has a tendency to cheat others, and his senses are imperfect. Consequently, we have to take a direction from the liberated persons. This Krishna conscious movement directly receives instructions from the Supreme Personality of Godhead via persons who are strictly following his instructions. Although followers may not be a liberated person, if he follows the Supreme Liberated Personality of Godhead, his actions are naturally liberated from the contamination of the material nature. Lord Chaitanya therefore says, by my order, you may become a spiritual master. One can immediately become a spiritual master by having a full faith in the transcendental words of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and by following his instructions. Materialistic men are not interested in taking directions from a liberated person, but they are very much interested in their own concocted ideas, which make them repeatedly failing their attempts. Because the entire world is now following the imperfect directions of conditioned soul, humanity is completely bewildered. Let's chant Mangala Sharan. Om Jnana-timirandasya Jnana-jana-salakaya Chakshuru-militam yena Tasmai Shri-Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Sthapitam yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapatantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Uttapatakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavam Cha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitam Sya He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriya Vancha kalpatarubhasya kripa sindhubhayeva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So let me take the blessings of all the Vaishnavas assembled here. So the right time comes at the right time. I'll take the blessings of my Siksha Gurus, my spiritual master and Srila Prabhupada. So let's try to understand what's going on. This is one. So Mother Earth is trying to talk here to the King Prithu Maharaj. So let's just go back or try to see what happened in one. So in the King Prithu Maharaj came to the world, so there are professional reciters. They are reciting the glories of the King Prithu Maharaj. That time they say that King Prithu Maharaj will be he'll be milking from the Mother Earth as a cow. So Vidura got curious. Why Mother Earth has to become like take a shape of a cow? It's a Mother Earth. Mother. It's like her nature is mother. It's a woman. Why she has to take a shape of a cow? Then if King Prithu Maharaj is milking, so who was the calf? And what was the milking part? That was the question. So he has raised it. So then what happened? Then Maitreya Muni explains why he has the things have happened. So he was explaining when the king has enthroned, the people have come, all the Brahmanas and everyone have come. The citizens are very thinny. They are suffering because of starvation. They are starving it. They don't have any food to eat. So they are starving, and then they are requesting the king to solve the problem, because it's a duty of the king to protect their people. Right? So seeing this, their lamented conditions, King Prithu Maharaj, he started thinking what happened, why it was the cause. Then he decided, okay, so Mother Earth is not producing the enough sufficient food grains for the people. So he got very angry, and then he started chasing the Mother Earth. So now King Prithu Maharaj is angry and he is chasing the Mother Earth. So Mother Earth was trying to run away from King Prithu Maharaj, but she couldn't. So then she is just appealing. First time she is appealing. Mother Earth is appealing to King Prithu, and she gave so many various reasons. I'm not a sinful person. Why you are trying to kill me? I'm a woman. You are not supposed to harm me. So that she was giving the some external reasons or something to give some kind of a justification. But King Prithu Maharaj was very angered. He said that it doesn't matter who you are, because you are not obeying my orders, because you are not doing your duty. If you are not doing your duty, you have to be punished. That's a king duty, is to punish somebody who is not doing the duty. And then he is telling King Prithu Maharaj, he will say that it is our duty to, you should not, you hoarding everything else. You are keeping everything with yourself. You are not giving to anyone. right? These days what? We all want to keep with ourselves everything. We are not trying to give it everyone. That is a punishable offense. So King Prithu Maharaj said. Then she's Mother Earth trying to pacify, but she couldn't. Then she said again, "Oh, do you remember it? In previously, you came as a boar and then saved me. Now you are trying to kill me again. How can you do it? One day you are doing like this. You are saving me, right?" So when Varaha Dev, when he comes, he saved the Mother Earth. So now I'm the same Mother Earth. You are trying to kill me. How are you doing all these things? But King Prithu Maharaj is not at all pacified. He is still having anger. That's how this chapter is starting. So now Mother Earth is going for the real reasons why she has not given. Right? So first let's try to see the one. So she's trying to say that one. What is the importance? Let's say text 3 and text 4 translation I'll read. To benefit all human society, not only in this life but in the next, the great seer sages have prescribed various methods to conducive to the prosperity of the people in general. So if people want to be a prosperity, they don't want a starvation or anything, it's already given in the Vedas. You follow that one, so they can be happy in this birth as well as on the next birth. So that is his first point he is making it. So then what she is making it, one who follows the principles and instruction enjoyed by the great sages of the past can utilize these instructions for practical purpose. So what Mother Earth, first to her point is, you follow the Vedas, Vedas will give the way of life so that you can be happy today in this life as well as the next life. That is the one. So now in this text 5, what is doing it? Other way around, who are not following the Vedas. Now what she is telling it, a foolish person who manufacture his own ways. So that means they have concocted by their own ideas. If I do this, I can become like this. That's a one. They don't follow anything else. And means through mental speculation, does not recognize the authority of the sages. They don't recognize or they don't accept the orders coming from the higher authority or the Vedas. So that is then what will happen? They will keep on failure it. You see that your people are suffering, but she is now trying to come to the real reason of it, because you are not following the Vedic culture, right? So this is a very beautiful purport by Prabhupada. So first he starts with that one. He didn't talk about Mother Earth, what he says. He's Prabhupada directly going into the one. In the present moment, it's become a fashionable to disobey the unimpeachable direction given by the Acharyas and liberated soul. It's become a fashionable. Everyone is trying to start their own cult. They are trying to become that. They are become like I am the sages, I am the saint. They just do some. They have few followers. They become one. Even some people have a Instagram followers. They are like a lord. That's how the current status. That's how fashionable, right? So let's try to understand, right? So how it is being followed in the past. We'll take from the Chaitanya Charitamrita. So Tapan Mishra, so he was like, he wants to come to meet the Mahaprabhu, and then he wants to stay with the Mahaprabhu, he wants to serve the Mahaprabhu. So he comes, Tapan Mishra, and then he meets Mahaprabhu, and Mahaprabhu said that, okay, you go to Varanasi, I'll come and meet. So imagine, he wants to serve the devotees and everything. He has been sent to Varanasi. Varanasi at that time, it's full of Mayavada philosophy, and then he don't have many associates of Mahaprabhu. He was one. And Mahaprabhu says, I'll meet you in Varanasi. So if you look at Tapan Mishra, he could have said that, oh, come on, how can you say that, Mahaprabhu? You have told me I came to serve you, I want to be associate with you, but you are trying to send me there, and I don't know when I'll be meeting it. That's not the one. He didn't say. He just took and then went. Every day he'll be looking at, is Mahaprabhu is coming, because he given the word. So he will be looking at the one, Ganges, that Mahaprabhu is coming or not, that way. That's what we'll have it. So it's not only for one, even we know that Raghunath Bhatta Goswami, he came to the Puri to serve Mahaprabhu. He was there for 8 months. Then Mahaprabhu says, you go back to now to home. How, imagine you 8 months you serve the Mahaprabhu, you are with associates, and then you have been said that you go back and home and serve the family. No, how come? I don't want to entangle all those things. He didn't say that. He went and then he served his parent, and then after that he came back and joined the associates. So this is for the almost for the case for everyone, like Raghunath Das Goswami or other one. So many, even Gopal Bhatta Goswami and everyone, Mahaprabhu was doing it. So to try to understand more, there are in the Vedas, in Chandogya Upanishad, there is a one story, Satyakama Jabala. Okay, so how the faith or listening to that spiritual master is important, right? So this is how the Vedic standards. So what happened? This Satyakama, when his father died when he is very young. So and then he wants to go to a school. That time when you go to Gurukula, you need to tell which clan, that means which family line you are coming from, you need to tell. So based on that, they'll have a, let's say, Kshatriya, different type of educations will be there. And then he asked his mother, that boy, that mother said that, I got married when I was very young. I don't know anything about that one. And your father expired it very soon. I don't know, sorry, my son, I cannot say. So it's a very, those days, this is a very important, you should know about your clan, from where, which family lineage you are coming, otherwise they will not accept. So, but what happened, he had a very truthful, he went and tell to his teacher, so Gautama Muni. So to Gautama Rishi, he said, went and said, so this is the reason, I don't know anything, you just teach me. Okay, Gautama Muni said, okay, you are truthful, because it's a very hard to say that I don't know my father's lane, my surname is my mother name. Like, imagine, that's a very harsh to tell. So that's how he said. So Gautama Muni was very impressed. So he was talking the truth. And then what he said, he given a test. I'll give you 400 cows. You go and take, and when it become 1,000 cows, you come, I'll teach. Okay. Come on, 400 cows to 1,000 cows, how it can happen, how many years? I'll go to next teacher. No, that was not his one. So what happened? He went. And then, okay, it's a big story. And then when he was taking care of the cows and so much, so all the devatas, they felt very impressed with his service attitude. They themselves started teaching him all the Vedas and Brahmans and everything. So he got the one, and eventually it became 1,000 cows. So they came back, and then when she come back, means Gautama Muni could realize it. Then he asked it, he explained all those things. So that's how we were listening in the past. But these days, right, so we know people are like, who are you to say, right? That's how only it will start. If somebody is like, I'll go with my own way, right? Even that's what kids these days, right? So they'll trust more of ChatGPT than their parents or their teachers. So that's how it is going on. Okay. So, but now what is it for us? Is it like, okay, so this is for external people. People like, we are devotees, we have a tilak, we do chanting, so that means we are all good. That means it's not applicable. So that's how we need to be very clear. So in Chaitanya Charitamrita, so-called devotees also, you may be very respectful devotees, even the Lord will respect it. So, but if you are not having a proper quality, it is not going to do it. So that's how Chaitanya Charitamrita, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami wants us, giving the example of Ramachandra Puri, right? Ramachandra Puri is a disciple of Madhavendra Puri. So that means it is like Mahaprabhu teaches him like his own spiritual master, because Ishwar Puri's spiritual master is Madhavendra Puri. So that means he is Ramachandra Puri is a god brother of Ishwar Puri. So he was giving all the one. But what happened to the Ramachandra Puri? So he started when Madhavendra Puri in his last days. So he was like having a very heavy separation from the Krishna. He was crying. So then he was like Ramachandra Puri. should know about Brahman. Brahman means all bliss. You should be happy. Why are you crying like a normal conditioned soul? He was just, what do you say? To his spiritual master, he'll be taking a class. What is a Brahman? What we should do? We should not cry and everything. So that is what his nature, right? So we have to be very careful. We have to, since doesn't mean we are a devotee, at least for me and all, I have to be reminded. Doesn't mean we are a devotee, doesn't mean we may externally get all the benefits. The people say Hare Krishna, but are we really qualified it? That's something you need to do it. That's the one thing, getting the order, learning from that. Okay. So next the Prabhupada talks about condition. So in this present age, people doesn't know they cannot distinguish between liberated soul or conditioned soul, right? See, this is the whole biggest problem in this age, right? We don't know. Suppose somebody has a, predominantly, okay, from India side and all, if we have so many sadhus, saints and everyone, we don't know whether they are really sadhu or saint, we don't know at all anything. We just simply, the next door person is following him, and then he comes and tells something, oh, okay, he's a good, and then we goes. That's how our one, because we don't know how to differentiate. Okay, so Gaur Govind Samaraj was he was telling who is a real sadhu. So he was beautifully explaining the real sadhu is one who has completely taken shelter of Krishna. That's the real qualification. One who has completely taken shelter of Krishna. So he said that one, he's 100% Krishna consciousness, then is only not 50%, 80%. That means he has depend only on Krishna. That he is a real sadhu, not on anything else, right? So that means he gives his whole life for the Krishna. So that's kind of a person is the sadhu. So we cannot, he says that, Maharaj says that very beautifully, we can just put this yardstick and then we can see how he is doing, then that's all we can find it, right? So otherwise people will say, oh, all these things, but behind the scenes what they are doing it, we know, right? So that should not be the case. Somebody has been full, they have given their whole life and soul for the Krishna, they are the sadhu. That's what we need to have it. They are the liberated souls. Others are in condition, even in the name of sadhus, right? So that's what Prabhupada always quotes this one. So, to become a god is the last snare of Maya. So that's a Mayavadis also, it's in the Maya, right? He always quote this one, last snare of Maya. Last snare of Maya is, yes, 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 you are a god. So that's a last snare, right? So, and Prabhupada talks a very important one, this is what we'll spend it one. So, even though conditioned soul, he gives all the 4 defects of a conditioned soul, but almost, okay, every one of us, most of us are having those kind of defects, right? So we are in that material world, that means we have such defects. But what Prabhupada is telling, the defect is not making you to be a lower. Consequently, we have to take a direction from the liberated person. So, if you are trying to follow, this is a very important, I'll read it. Although a follower may not be a liberated person, that means he has the 4 defects. We all have the defects. His actions are naturally liberated from the contamination of material nature by following it. Although follower may not be a liberated person, if he follows the supreme liberated personality of Godhead, if he follows that Lord, or the spiritual master, he is naturally liberated from the contamination. The only hope for us is following the spiritual masters. That's the main hope, right? So, see, I'll give you, one time it was asked to the Prabhupada, we talks about accepting a spiritual master is the very prime, and said, why in 6 Akshara, Mahaprabhu has not written about the one, right? When you see 8 stanzas, there is never word about accepting a spiritual master is the one. So why that is the case? So you have to accept spiritual master, and then following their words is the beginning of the Krishna consciousness. So if that is the important, why Mahaprabhu has not said it in the 6 Ashtaka, 8 prayers? That's a question. It was a very excellent question. So Prabhupada beautifully says that one. Prabhupada says that one. That means you didn't really understand the Siksashtaka. He says that one. Mahaprabhu says that Amanina Manadena Kirtanaya Sada Kari. So that means you give all your respect, you become a tolerant, I become a humble, then only you can do chant the holy name of a Lord. If you cannot become a humble or you cannot become a one unless until if you accept some kind of a authority, right? The first things to learn something is accepting a authority. So that's the only thing. We all want to be humble, right? So that means that we need to really look. If you want to be humble, do a following someone's instruction. If I am not following instructions of one, then means we are not really humble, right? So I had an opportunity to talk to one of the Mataji. So she's a senior devotee. I asked Mataji, so Mataji, maybe people like me who are early days of Krishna consciousness, what will help us to grow? Mataji beautifully said that one. So you have one is that enthusiasm, you should do be enthusiasm, and second thing is you should have a humility to ask a question. If you cannot ask anyone, you cannot learn it. See, people may have enthusiasm. We initial days, yes, Jai, we'll have enthusiasm, right? That's the one thing. But enthusiasm, if you don't have a curiosity to ask and humble to learn more, then what will happen? Our enthusiasm will slowly fade away. That's what the Mataji has told me. I always try to remember that one, right? So these are the two things. Coming back, what Prabhupada said to that letter, he says that one. So unless, that's what Mahaprabhu says, you want to become a humble. Humble means how can you become a humble? Unless until you don't accept a authority, you don't accept someone superior to us, you cannot become a humble. That's where the very important one, right? So the major purpose what we are missing is that humility. So we cannot, that's the reason we don't accept someone is telling it, right? To accept someone what they are telling, there are two features or elements are very important. So Prabhupada in this one, he is trying to make, we may have lots of problems. Of course, I have so many issues. So that's what Mahatma Das Prabhu has given one t-shirt. We are sadhu in making progress. We are not sadhu made. It's like work in progress. So that means work in progress, when building is happening, it may not look really good. It will look very small, what is this house? But once it is done, we can do it. So that's what we are sadhu, making progress. So we are not achieved that state. So Prabhupada gives a very another example, one. So to learn, there are two important one is that humility, and second thing is faith of the hearing from the spiritual master. Spiritual master, when we want to hear, there are two things. One, we want to follow either Vedas or authority. It's two things. We should have the faith. Unless we don't have faith, we will not accept them as a spiritual master or whoever it is. And second thing is, unless until we don't have a humility, what will happen? Oh, what he is telling, I know much more. We may not able to follow them. These are the two things. Prabhupada beautifully talks about the faith in one of the letters, which has, it's one of the initiation lecture he has given in Seattle. So he says that one, actually whoever comes and take the initiation, this is in 1968 in Veda base. So he gives a one. So somebody takes initiation, that means they are in the third state of their their faith. So Prabhupada says that one, you meet someone in the road, so you give them the books, they are appreciative, they buy the books or not, but they are very appreciative. So that means they have certain faith, okay, or that's where the faith, the seed starts, that's where it starts. So most of us, we all not like, means at least I didn't born in a family of devotee or something. Some Vaishnavas come and we started, looking at them, certain kind of a faith started it, right? So that's the first kind of a faith. And second thing is, then they will started interaction with the devotee. They may come to the temple. We can put in our shoes also. Someone we met it in the road, they just something, okay, we felt happy with them. And second time we started coming to the temple or meeting with the other devotees. Oh, okay, this lifestyle is also good. They are also very happy. It is something, it's good to follow. That's a second level. Then Prabhupada says, after that, what they do, they taking the initiation. So that's a third level of faith, they have it. This is, Prabhupada gives that comparison with what Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur said, Adho Shraddha Sadhu Sangha, right? That he is putting in terms of the faith, how the faith grows of the one. Then he says, in the third one, he takes initiation. I have to become a serious now. Initiation is the beginning. I want to become a very serious. I want to follow it. So then he started, the third stage of faith is he is taking the initiation. Then fourth kind of his faith is, I want to follow whatever the problem I have it. I want to follow what I have been done. I have to chant. I have to follow my 4 regulative principles. That's where his fourth faith. Prabhupada, in that lecture, he gives one beautiful example. There is one person who never met Prabhupada, but he sent out email to, whole life I want to devote for you, Prabhupada. He says that one. That is a kind of, he never met me, I never spoken to him, but he has such a kind of a faith, that kind of a attachment. Then that is what the faith will gradually evaluate. So you will have anartha nivarti. So once you started, then we will have the nishta, steadiness. Prabhupada says, that level if you have it, then only you will start going on to it. So that's the whole purpose of the faith what Prabhupada gives over here, right? So, and in the purport, the last Prabhupada, he says that one, right? Materialistic men are not interested in taking directions from a liberated person, but they are very much interested in their own concocted ideas, which make them repeatedly fall their attempts, right? So it's like we try to take our own decisions, we think that one. That's what Prahlad Maharaj says that one, right? So we are completely chewing the chewed. So we are trying to keep following, and whatever we get it, and we try to again following and failing it. That's what the continuously happening here. So Prabhupada finished that purport with, the entire world is now following the imperfect directions of conditioned souls. So whom we are following it? All our leaders, so-called leaders, right? They are all imperfect. We are trying to follow them. We think that they will solve all our problems and everything, right? That's a whole problem. And humanity is completely bewildered. That's how Prabhupada is doing. Okay, so I just want to talk one more point on this one. So this one is following it, right? As we said, there are two parts, humility and faith. So Bhakti Tirtha Swami Maharaj very beautifully writes in his books, Reflections. So he says that one, humility gives a eagerness to learn. If you want to learn, the humility gives a eagerness to learn. So it was a very beautiful one, right? So how do we really understand humility gives the eagerness to learn? Again, we'll go back to Chaitanya Charitamrita, right? So when Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, when he, he's such a exalted devotee. When we read Chaitanya Charitamrita, we can really see how Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami has cherished each and every one. But when he writes about himself, what he says one, right? So he says that one, means just to give a background. So in one dream, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, so he gets a dream where Nityananda Prabhu comes and telling, oh my dear Krishnadasa, go to Vrindavan, your life will be, you will attain everything, your life will be successful. So then he takes and then he goes to Vrindavan. He just wakes up, oh okay, so this is my order of my Lord, I am walking towards the Vrindavan. He goes. So he goes and then he starts, this is a 4-5-1. He started glorifying everyone in the Vrindavan who are met. All the devotees. Then he says that all glory to the lotus feet of Lord Nityananda, whose mercy I have attained, Sri Radha Govinda. Without the mercy of Nityananda Prabhu, we cannot do it. Then he is telling how he feels himself. So he's telling, I'm more sinful than Jaga and Madai and lower than the worms in the stool. That's what he feels. That's how he. See, we can. Do you think if we are writing a book, do we write ourselves like I'm more lower than a worm in the stool? We say that I have done these things. That's the reason I got this benefit. I have went for a book distribution. I distributed one book, so I got a benefit, mercy of out of it. We have done any small, we try to over amplify it, right? He is like Nityananda Prabhu is coming and giving, he has association. He feels he is so humble. And then he says that one, whoever utters my names, all their, even by name, somebody calls my name, they loses all their pious activities or they become sinful. That's what my thing. He feels himself so lowly. So that's the one. So that is the mercy of the one, right? So that's the humility will makes us to learn. That's what he is able to hear. All the one he is able to produce, right? So that's a one. So even it's a long story. I'll just quickly finish it off here. So just to add upon where Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, when he has been told in the assembly to write, right? Everyone told, even the garland from the Lord has fallen, so that has been given. It all been done. When he accepted everything is dead, and then he just take a prayers of Chaitanya Bhagavat returns, right? He is taking that Vrindavan Das Chakravarti Thakur, so he takes that one because he wants to. He feel that himself unqualified. With their mercy and blessing, he is able to write it. That's the mood it is trying to give. Okay? So I'll just try to summarize here. So this is a verse. It talks about the foolish person, where Vidwan, it's a foolish. Prabhupada translates as a rascal. So which is like most of people like me here in this stall. So what we try to do, we try to don't follow the Vedas, we try to concatenate and think and we do something. So what happens when you do like that, we just keep failing again and again, punaha punaha, again and again. So Prabhupada, what he says it, so in this moment, no one is following the unimpeachable, so trustworthy directions. So no one is following it, they are trying to do their own and failing it. So Prabhupada beautifully says that one. So we may not be completely liberated. By following the orders of those who are liberated, we are actually liberated from the contamination of the material nature. That's the one. So when you try to see this one, so what is the important quality which required it? There are two parts is required. One is the faith, another one is the humility, which is what will help us to learn and do it. So I'll summarize here. So is there any comment correction? Yeah, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Shri Radha Gopinath Bhavan ki.